this comes to us from Learning the Law, and it was reposted by Grums. And Grums says, Western AAA gaming is lost. Where are they now? Can they not condemn the calls to political violence by their devs that got a man killed? Not one word. It's time to move on and support AA and indies. I would say be careful with the indies, because as we saw, some of the indies are completely woke. But this is Learning the Law. It says, did you know that in the wake of George Floyd, 99% of gaming companies you support, making them richer and more powerful, were canceling events, donating money, and pretending to be a moral force in the world? Yet when it came to Charlie Kirk's event, all of them stayed silent, and shows this collage of screenshots. CD Projekt Red postponed its Cyberpunk 2077 Night City Wire livestream in June due to Black Lives Matter protests. Developer stated that more important discussions are happening right now, and that they wholeheartedly stand against racism, intolerance, and violence in support of the movement. The live stream was rescheduled from June 11th to June 25th. It's a really good point, by the way. I have not seen any companies on either side market this as something to say, hey, this is taking priority right now. We're going to move it. Nothing really big happened in the gaming world since the 10th. The only thing I could think of was the Nintendo Direct. When was that? That was September 12th. But not that I expect Nintendo to ever do anything. Gears 5 supports Black Lives Matter with new startup screen. The coalition has updated Gears 5 with a brand new startup screen showing support for the Black Lives Matter movement. Man, it's almost like the precedent that these companies set for themselves is now the rake hitting them in the face when it comes around and people are like, wait a second, why don't you care about Charlie Kirk like you did about George Floyd? It's very strange. Naughty Dog, we hope to see the beginning of lasting change for people of color in America. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. Fucking Pokemon says hashtag Black Lives Matter. Here at the Pokemon Company International, we believe in friendship, inclusivity, and equity. These are the values that anchor the Pokemon brand. There is no place for oppression within our community. We stand in solidarity with our Black employees, fans, and families who continue to be impacted by systematic racism and senseless violence. So does this go back to the you can't be racist against white people thing with Charlie Kirk, or that it wasn't senseless violence in this situation? I'm trying to find what the other side of the coin is for these people, why none of these same companies are making these same statements that they made with George Floyd with Charlie Kirk, which I would argue, and it's not even that much of a leap to say that this situation should be a much bigger situation than the George Floyd thing was. Now you can say, oh my God, but George Floyd, all the riots and everything, and the racism and what it meant and what it stood for. That's belittling and lowering what Charlie Kirk meant for the political world, what this guy was actually doing, the trajectory that his life was on. He wasn't some drug-addicted person that had previous crimes committed in his history, that potentially had fentanyl in his system that actually allegedly killed him. No. Let's make sure we make a martyr out of George Floyd in the gaming industry. But Charlie Kirk, fuck him. I mean, who cares, right? Because, it doesn't stand for what we stand for. We got Fortnite removes police cars in apparent response to Black Lives Matter movement. Bethesda, hashtag Black Lives Matter. We stand in solidarity with Black team members, players, and the Black community. We are making a $100,000 contribution to the NAACP and Black Lives Matter. Well, that's good. You guys assisted those 2 or 3 families in buying their mansions. with your $100,000 donation. I hope you feel good when you go to sleep at night and close your eyes and don't lose a wink of sleep by just giving money to legit straight up grifters stealing money from a charity to buy mansions. And it's not even alleged, like it happened. And encourage those who are able to donate hashtag Black Lives Matter. And of course, Square Enix over here. Everyone at Square Enix's offices and studios across the globe stand with our Black community in the fight against racism, prejudice, and hate. We are pledging $250,000 and will match employee donations to support Black Lives Matter organizations and other charities in an effort to help combat racial injustice and positively affect change in the world. Why would you not do the same damn thing? I mean, Square Enix is in a much shittier financial position this time around, but I guess you could argue that's because they went down this entire woke path to get them here in the first place. Ironic, isn't it? But interesting how they would do this for the Black Lives Matter, George Floyd situation. But when it comes to Charlie Kirk, fucking more crickets than in the Smash Shack. This is insane how quiet they're all being. Call of Duty, NBA 2K20 add in-game Black Lives Matter tributes. Black Lives Matter as the subtext. And Rare stands together with our fans, creators, colleagues, friends, and the entire African American and Black community against systematic racism and injustice. And PlayStation, we have decided to postpone the PS5 event scheduled for June 4th, which was, by the way, that's a massive event that they postponed. While we understand gamers worldwide are excited to see PS5 games, we do not feel the right time now is the time for celebration. And for now, we want to stand back and allow more important voices to be heard. Apparently, this is the whole you feel bad for being like your shame for being white or not being Black. It's like, because I'm not Black people are better than me and have more important voices than me, and they should be heard more than me. Like, what even is this mentality? It is lunacy, absolute lunacy. And people will try to twist my words and be like, see, Smash is a bigot and a racist. Like, by saying that everyone should have an equal platform? What the fuck? It kind of points out who the actual racists and awful people in the room really are. And I'd like to think, ironically, the Charlie Kirk situation perfectly exemplifies that and kind of in a weird way puts a magnifying glass on the entire situation. Keep Choppin says, BLM gave Black folk a free card to be racist. For a while it did. And coming out of it, we still dealt with a lot of that. I remember Alyssa Mercante had her banner was, you can't be racist to white people. And this is like a white woman saying that. I'm like, this is really, really weird to hate yourself this much, to take that kind of a step back and say, yep, you can say whatever the fuck you want to me and it's not racism because reasons. And I'll leave it with this because I thought this was a perfect example of we haven't fully recovered from the BLM situation. This comes from friend of the channel, Kata, who says, are you out of your cotton picking mind? This is from Da Baby. Save me out now. And yes, it is exactly what you think it's going to be. And it's insane.
This is video surveillance of the night. Arena Zarutska enters the blue line at the East-West Boulevard station stop. You can see she takes a seat directly in front of DeCarlos Brown, the suspect. At first, nothing seems unusual, but 4 minutes later, he pulls out what appears to be a pocket knife and suddenly stabs Zarutska multiple times. Zarutska then collapses. As Brown walks to the front car, takes off his sweater, and wraps his hand before exiting the train.
And guess what they're going to do now? They're going to make the killer the victim. And now you need to feel empathy for the struggles and the challenges that this gentleman's life, what he's had to deal with, and just how hard it is to be a Black man. Clearly.
Police arrested him on the platform shortly after.
You think you can save me? Are you? I can't play this with the music because I don't want this to get flagged, but just pretend music's playing and just watch this. Are we for real right now? Are we gonna play the empathy victim card for this guy? Really? You know what's great about doing this every night? Every time you think you've seen it all, people find a way to be like, I got one more in me. I got something that can top the craziest shit you think you've ever seen. This is where we're at. And still, back to this point, game companies aren't saying a damn thing. Everyone, you could hear a pin drop. Learning the Law says, after wrestling for a long time with certain degree of addiction to video games, I realized long ago that the only moral choice, if you truly hold a set of values, is to boycott these companies forever. Even if it means giving up your favorite franchise, they do not like you. And this is the reunion says, it seems for Square Enix, this push for activism started when ex-Blizzard VP John Heineke was hired as an executive officer. He is the leadership of the North American branch and the direct contact to Japan about the needs of Western market. He sets the political climate for the North American branch. Here we go. Chief Publishing Officer America for Square Enix. When AAA start pushing agendas gamers don't want to see, they pay for it by not buying the game. Fire the long-term failing CEO and the staff that embraced woke ideology. John responds, oh, piss off. Walls closing in, John? Feeling the pressure? Just a little bit? And yes, I've covered plenty of this diversity and Square stuff. Back when I first covered this Pride character that they had created, I was in shock by just how far Square Enix had fallen and how it's been completely overrun and overtaken by wokies. The ideology has completely infected the entire company to the point where they're having Japanese game devs forcing the videos being taken down. And the developers of Dragon Quest confused why they changed male and female to A and B because of the woke ideology coming from America being pushed to the rest of the world. It's so crazy. Oh, there's John, by the way. What do you see? Republicans against Trump. The January 6th pipe bomber and a neo-Nazi. Square Enix, everyone. Square Enix. Holy crap. So yeah, these companies, to me, they are completely lost and broken. And I guess all we can do is, well, from my perspective, report on it and speak with our wallets, because nothing is going to change. And ironically, if things do change, this will be the ultimate fall of AAA game development in the modern era of gaming. And will give rise, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, to the indie game scene. And more importantly, you could even argue the AA game scene with games like Expedition 33 coming down the pipe. I think everything's going to be just fine. Shout out to Mark Smith for the 20 banger. Fucking legend. I couldn't believe it when they offered a PS4 BLM theme 5 years ago. They're losers for offering propaganda disguised as a background theme. Brought that up here. There we go. In case you're wondering, here you go. Ready? There it is. The Black Lives Matter theme. Now, I'm not necessarily against this if you're going to do it for everything. But if you start picking and choosing, it starts telling people where your politics lie and where they don't. That's the danger in falling for this shit and doing stuff like this. So, yeah, real bad look for Sony. Terrible look. Now, if they are going to do a Charlie Kirk theme, they better announce that soon. And then I'll be like, okay, I will take it back. It's not the worst look. They are just doing this for themes. It better be free. They better not try to make money off of it. But But yeah, unless it's like to donate 100% of the proceeds to Turning Point or something like that. But yeah, it's at this point despicable.